First up, find out more on what you can do to prep for college admissions regarding the class of 2022 in the fall.
Plus, learn about the push for stricter gun control laws across the country, and heads up seniors, you won't want to miss this year's Senior Sunset.
Next, a hype video by Victor Martinez.
Also this morning, an all-new Hosta Health Minute, the top 3 things you need to know for today with Elizabeth Kors.
And on today's Fact Check, the hosts share their thoughts on the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, TikTok drama, and more. Turn it up because the Wolfcast starts now.
Good morning, Cedar Park High School. I'm Ella Neal, and I'm joined this morning by Abby Martinez and Luke Johnson.
So guys, you got about a month and a half left of school. Have you figured out where you're going to college yet?
Yes, I am committed to Texas Tech, and I've already applied, got accepted, and signed up, so.
Awesome.
Ella?
Yeah, I kind of one of those later schools to find out if I got into, but I will be heading up to New York for college, but I know that this time can be kind of stressful, Abby, especially for you, and next year, with the SAT and ACTs and stuff. So here are some things you can calm down about. Many juniors are concerned about what college admissions will look like next year regarding the special circumstance of COVID-19 and online school. Reporter Madeline Roberts talked to several juniors and the CPHS transition coordinator to find out more.
Since COVID took away a lot of the opportunities that students could have taken advantage of, you may have seen many colleges going test optional or making other alterations to their usual admissions process. According to NPR, since many students will be applying without their test scores, colleges are struggling to find what they will be considering instead. So students are trying to find things to put on their college resumes despite the pandemic that will help them stand out to college admissions personnel.
I've had one representative tell us because they're going test optional that they're going to be looking a little heavier at the college essay. So maybe start on that college essay now if you haven't already. At least start thinking about look at the prompts, think about what you might be writing about. I know just deciding what you want to write about is a daunting task for some students.
The application process starts this fall for the class of 2022, so college prep is on the minds of many juniors scrambling to figure out how they can get an extra edge in. NHS Junior Representative Janie Jung spoke about her strategy to stand out during college admissions.
Well, I feel like the main thing that I really want to show to colleges is trying to show through my stats, I guess, and my essays, what I value as a person. So it's especially with being a representative for NHS, showing that I'm putting out effort, trying to find service opportunities. That's also a big part of it.
Colleges will be looking for what students have done despite the limiting pandemic, and even with precautions, there are still many opportunities for students to take advantage of. Extracurricular activities can help students express their interests and gain experience. Junior class president Riley Prislov talked about his take on the importance of taking on leadership positions.
Yeah, so definitely leadership experience. Obviously, I'm in student council, but honestly, if you just join student council, that's a great way to get some leadership experience. If you're in NHS, doing volunteer things like that, even in other clubs that you're in, definitely get involved. The more involved you are, the more leadership experience you can put on your resume, which definitely helps you. And then just, keep getting involved in the other things that you're doing, like athletics, or if it's beyond athletics, like club teams, just things like that will definitely help you when you're prepping the application in the fall.
Participation is key when preparing to fill out your college application. Make sure to get involved in the community with volunteer opportunities and outside organizations in order to bridge those gaps that might be in your resume due to COVID-19.
Feedback that we frequently hear from college reps is, they want to see depth and not brevity. So they want to see a kiddo who's participated in a volunteer activity or, a church commitment or something like that for a long period of time. So if there's something that you participated in the past, I'd recommend that you look into that and continue to, to build that relationship or continue to dedicate your time to that in terms of philanthropy, because universities want to see that you've stuck with something and that you're dedicated to something and you stuck with it for a period of time rather than just piecemealing stuff together.
Colleges have offered many online informational sessions and tours through Zoom or videos, so that students don't completely miss out on the opportunities that they would have normally had. So make sure to go check them out, and good luck, juniors!
After the two recent shootings in Georgia and Colorado, the White House has officially began pushing for executive order. Even more recently, after the shooting in Bryan, Texas, gun laws are being pushed harder than ever before. According to Newsweek, the United States has had 104 mass shootings since the beginning of 2021. And according to the American Psychological Association, 1/3 of the adults in the U.S. say that fear of mass shootings prevents them from doing some activities. Due to the recent national and local shootings, the Biden administration has began pushing executive order over stricter gun laws, though opposition from the NRA and Republican politicians is slowing down the process. President Joe Biden and his cabinet had a press conference on April 8th about what has been changed in the Second Amendment. Here's what Merrick Garland, the Attorney General of the U.S., said.
First, we will ensure that we understand and measure the problem of criminal gun trafficking in a data-driven way. Second, we will close a regulatory loophole that has contributed to the proliferation of so-called ghost guns. Federal law requires that manufacturers mark all firearms with serial numbers. Third, we will make clear that statutory restrictions on short-barreled rifles apply when certain stabilizing braces are added to high-powered pistols.
We'll keep you updated on more information about the White House's legislative efforts.
The class of 2021 has had a senior year like no other, missing out on many iconic senior events. But one way CPHS hopes to celebrate is with a senior sunset this year. This new event made especially for the class of 2021 will be on May 8th at the CPHS football field. Seniors can keep an eye on the class Google Classroom for an RSVP link coming soon.
So the Senior Sunset, which was put together by Student Council and other organizations, it is happening on May 8th, and it's basically just a celebration for the class of 2021 since the unprecedented situation kind of took away a lot of the things that normal seniors get to celebrate all of their hard work. And so it'll be at the Cedar Park High School football stadium at night. That is to be determined, like the exact time, and it'll have other activities. Masks and social distancing is still required and encouraged just for safety, but hopefully all the seniors can come out and have a good time to celebrate all of their hard work the past 4 years.
Seniors also have an opportunity this Saturday for a prom alternative event here at CPHS Courtyard. Check Google Classroom for more details.
Now here are the top 3 things.
Now, here are your top 3 things you need to know for today. First, on Sunday, April 11th, Dante Wright, a 20-year-old black man, was shot and killed by police during a traffic stop in Brooklyn Center, Minnesota. This occurred miles from the trial of former police officer Derek Chauvin, charged with killing George Floyd. Police reports say Wright was pulled over for a traffic violation, and when officers discovered he had a warrant out for his arrest, there was an attempt to detain Wright. Brooklyn Center police say the officer accidentally shot Wright, instead meaning to tase him, calling it, quote, an accidental discharge, unquote. The police chief and officer have resigned as demonstrators gathered and protested in the city. Second, over 16,000 people have evacuated from their homes on the Caribbean island St. Vincent since Friday, April 9th, when the La Soufrière volcano erupted for the first time in 40 years. Seismologists have noticed an increase in volcanic activity since December 2020 and have been prompting officials to be prepared. More eruptions have occurred on St. Vincent since Friday, spreading ash over 100 miles and contaminating drinking water and destroying crops. Countries are working to help the island, but the pandemic has stunted immediate relief efforts. Lastly, the Texas House of Representatives is gathering tomorrow to vote on bills including HB 1911 and 1927, two that would allow Texas to join at least 18 other states in what is known as, quote, permitless carry, unquote. If passed, Texas law would not require gun owners over 21 years of age to have a permit or training if they wish to carry their firearm in public places. Permits would still be required to those leaving the state of Texas with their firearm. Some law enforcement officials have publicly opposed this bill, citing concerns over public safety. That's all I have for you today. With CPHS News, I'm Elizabeth Coors.
16,000 people evacuated. Now
Yeah.
it's crazy how you just can't stop something like this from
Yeah,
happening.
I know. We've been seeing these natural disasters just over and over and over again. But I'm sure that if you go online, you can probably, find places you can donate to, send monetary donations, and we hope for the best for them.
Now looking for a job? Because Madeline Roberts has the listing of who is hiring now.
First up, if you've always wanted to work as a Starbucks barista, well, you're in luck because they are hiring part-time in Cedar Park. In this position, you would provide customers with prompt service, quality beverages and products, and maintain a clean and comfortable store environment. But if you like Chick-fil-A, they are hiring hospitality team members in Cedar Park. No experience is necessary to start. They will teach you everything you need to know about being a cashier, bagger, stalker, and drive-through representative, etc. with the starting pay at $10 to $13 an hour. Lastly, the City of Cedar Park is in need of pool cashiers and lifeguards. For this summer, as a cashier, you will be responsible for the collection of fees from guests, the cleanliness of work areas, and good customer service. As a lifeguard, you need to pass the Ellison Associates International Lifeguard Training Program, but you do not need to be certified before applying. Training and testing will be provided.
Thanks, Madeline.
Finally, let's go to HOSA for this week's HOSA Health Minute, sponsored by CPHS's very own HOSA Club.
And they're currently taking their CNA test.
All right. Cue us in.
Do you ever just not have to worry about spending time and money on a harmful addiction? I know I don't. Vaping hasn't been around long enough for us to know how it truly affects the body over time, but health experts are reporting serious lung damage to potential people who vape, including some deaths. The benefits of sucking on a USB don't really exceed the potential long-term lung damage. Vaping can lead to slow brain development, concentration, attention, and learning. If you're an athlete, this especially applies to you. Young athletes feel the effects of vaping early in their athletic careers. In a study from the New England Journal of Medicine, doctors identified 4 imaging patterns that correlated with pathological findings attributable to vaping. These include acute esophagogenic pneumonia, diffuse alveolar damage, organizing pneumonia, and lipoid pneumonia. All of this is very bad, and vaping can destroy developing lungs, and a little bit can go a long way, as no one knows how addiction affects them individually. Vaping can cause irreversible damage to your orbitofrontal cortex, amygdala, and hippocampus, the reward areas of your brain. You can't outsmart your brain by only vaping every once in a while. Do your body a favor and don't vape, as you're more likely to become addicted to nicotine and devastate your lungs for the rest of your life. For a happy, healthy Cedar Park with your HOSA Health Minute for today, I'm Haley Bowerman. Thank you.
Thank you, HOSA. That's all we have for you today, but stay tuned for an all-new Pack Chat.
Make sure you keep up with all of our content, so head over to our YouTube at CPHS News.
You can also follow at CPHS_sports for more sports content.
You won't want to miss our show this Friday, so make sure to tune in.
Thanks for taking time to join us this morning.
With CPHS News, I'm Luke Johnson.
I'm Abby Martinez.
And I'm Ella Neal. Remember to make it a great day or not, the choice is yours.
Stay tuned for an all-new edition of the Pack Chat.
Welcome back to the Pack Chat or Student Voice Opinion segment. I'm Ella Neal, and I'm joined today by my guest co-host Victor Martinez and Sam Mack, as well as our guest co-host Abby Martinez, as we discuss this week's most trending topics. We asked for your opinions on our Instagram at CPHS News, so thank you so much for all of that feedback. Now, let's get started. First, a 20-year-old black man named Dante Wright was killed by Brooklyn Center Police, a suburb of Minneapolis, after police officer Kim Potter accidentally fired her gun instead of her taser. In the body cam footage, you can hear her say, "Taser, taser," and then immediately turn around and say, "Holy bleep, I shot him." Potter resigned